Well, Happy New Year, everyone. It's 2022, and it's time for the first episode of the year of record collecting with The Quill. Well, the subject for today is pretty obvious, isn't it? It's my favorite releases of 2021. It was a lot of cool stuff being released, so I thought we'll dig into some of my favorites. But before we start, you know the drill. Make sure you subscribe and hit that little notice bell and share with your friends. Well, 2021 was a good year for music, I must say. Some really cool releases. And my favorite actually was released in late December, and I haven't even gotten it on vinyl yet because the shipment was late due to Christmas, I believe. So, but I'm going to include it anyway because it's such a great album. But starting out, I picked some new stuff and also some reissues or old releases, mainly Record Store Day releases. That I think was some really excellent stuff released this year. Starting out with this one came during the Spring Record Store Day, one of those releases. It's Def Leppard live from 1980 in Oxford. It's called When the Walls Came Tumbling Down, and this is a great testament to what a cool rock and roll band Def Leppard were in the beginning. They've been an excellent band for a long time, but in the beginning they had more in common with AC/DC than you might think, actually. And I really enjoy this one. It's raw, it's rock and roll, and it's a good reminder of what a great band they were. I'm particularly fond of their first two albums, or three. Pyromania is a good one as well. But this one was a strong release and a great live recording. Check it out if you haven't seen it, heard it. Next one. So a lot of good stuff being released in Sweden. I think I mentioned this one in a previous episode. A band from Stockholm called Freedom, and I've seen this has been listed in a lot of best of 2021 releases. This is a great album. It's just plain good old rock and roll. It has some stuff in common with Bruce Springsteen, but mainly good rock and roll. You can hear some Helicopters influences as well. I know it's sold out on vinyl right now, but hopefully they print more copies because there sure will be a demand for this one. But if you haven't heard it, check it out. They're called Freedom. They're from Stockholm. Great band. One of my absolute favorite albums this year. Next one, another Record Store Day release. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' Angel Dream. This is a rework of the She's the One soundtrack that I don't think Tom Petty was particularly fond of, and from what I read, he worked on this one before his death and trying to do a sort of a new album. And there's some new stuff and it's rearranged, and a couple of songs have been remixed, but it's a reminder of even when Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers weren't at their best, but because I think Tom Petty wasn't pleased with the She's the One soundtrack, but they were a fantastic band, and he surely is missed in the music community. But a great reminder. I think there will be tons of cool stuff being released from Tom Petty over the coming years because he was such a productive guy. So I'm pretty sure there's tons of cool stuff still waiting to be heard. But cool release nonetheless, this one. Next one. Well, this is a Swedish singer called Sarah Klang or Klang in Swedish, from Gothenburg, and this is, I believe, her third album called Virgo. And when I finally got to go and see live shows again, I got to see her this summer, and she is a fantastic singer. I'm really fond of her voice. Music is sort of pop, dreamy. It's the perfect music to listen to while driving at night. And there's some really strong songs here. Fantastic songwriting as well. Some of the best songs I've heard this year. So if you haven't heard it, check her out. The album is called Virgo and the singer is called Sarah Klang. Good one. Next one came I got this just before Christmas. Another one of those later record store day releases. It's the Aerosmith The Road Starts Here. It's the first recording ever of Aerosmith from 1971, 2 years before their debut album being released. And I was quite knocked by this one, I must say, when I listened to it. There's a lot of all those favorite songs you have. Walking the Dog, Mama Kin, you have Dream On, an early version, Moving Out, and really cool inner sleeve as well. I believe it's just a copy of the tape they found. And this one, as I said, I was really surprised by this one. I didn't think it would be that good, but it's really raw, and I'm also a reminder of what a great band Aerosmith was. Or still is, I guess, but I'm also one of those guys being more fond of their earlier work, and this was a really cool find, I must say. Next one, I think I mentioned this one as well. Greta Van Fleet, The Battle of Garden's Gate. I think this is probably my #2 album of the year. I was sort of a little bit on the fence about Greta Van Fleet. When they first came out, I quite enjoyed them for the obvious Led Zeppelin and Rush influences, and then I lost them. Didn't think they were making that. The songs they were producing weren't that interesting. But this album really, if you've ever been on the fence about them, this is the one to listen to, because I think they come to their own here. Songwriting is exceptionally strong, and also they're starting to find their own sound, and they play fantastic, and also the singing is fantastic as well. So I'm really looking forward to hear what they have to offer in the future. It's definitely one of those bands to check out. Really, really good album. And the next one, my favorite pick, and that's the one I haven't got, so I'm gonna just, okay, here you go. I'm gonna paste in a copy of the album cover. It's a Norwegian band called Spidergawd, and their album 6 is called #6. Fantastic album, came out December 10th, I believe, and as I said, I've ordered it, but it's been delayed for some reason, as all vinyl albums seem to be delayed right now. But a fantastic album. It's rock music. It's rock music with a twist. I'm really fond of the singer. He has sort of almost like a Black Lawless quality to his singing, and they also, it's kind of fun because they have a classic rock setting, guitar, bass, drums, but they also have a saxophone guy as well, playing the low end of baritone saxophone, I believe it is, which makes for an interesting sort of something different to the sound as well. But as I said, exceptionally strong songwriting, some really, really cool stuff, and I've been enjoying it all over Christmas here all the time, so I'm just hoping that my vinyl copy will arrive soon, so I could dig into it for real and not just listen to it streaming. So that was my picks. There's one I had to mention as well. Would be weird otherwise, wouldn't it? This one. The QUILL Earthrise was also released this year, and wouldn't it? It would be strange if I didn't enjoy this one, wouldn't it? Because you make music you like yourself, don't you? So this is the one I've been listening to for obvious reasons as well, but a cool release for 2021 as well, I must say. Tooting my own horn a little bit, but I gave it a listen just recently, and I still think it's a cool album. It's going to be interesting to see what we come up with when we're going to record a new one. We're starting out this spring, I believe. For obvious reasons, we can't tour, so you might as well stay creative. So we got tons of cool stuff. So That was, what was it, like 7 or 8 of my favorite releases of 2021. I would love to hear what are your favorite releases for this year. Please comment either here in the comment section on YouTube or on Facebook or Instagram. And also make sure you follow the Quill on social media. It's TheQuillSweden. And also make sure we got a new release in January called Live New Borrowed and Blue out soon, so be sure to pre-order it. It's going to be available in a couple of weeks. Some really cool unreleased stuff. Well, that's it for now. I wish you all a happy and healthy 2022. Let's make it a good one. It's certainly, looking back, it's not going to be hard to make 2022 a better year than 2021, isn't it? Anyway, take care, and I'll see you all again next week. Bye for now.